Shit talker, black. I've just been researching Scientology, just putting them with anything, because after my son came in, I do a lot of studying, and I found that Scientology has biology, some kind of biotechnology lab. Bio means your body. They can fuck with your body. So I put in Scientology and bioweapons. There's a lot of things here to read. But Clearwater, since Clearwater keeps coming up, and dealing with Clearwater, because that's in Florida and shit like that, I worked a third party for Sprint. And but it was called Accent. It was called Accent, where it worked, third party for Sprint. But Clearwater was the headquarters. And now I see, there was a lady. They tried to fire me at first, but somehow they could not do it. And then this lady, she comes in, a pink chick, and she has on a red outfit, and everyone is a buzz around the office. Everyone is wondering who she is. Next thing I know, they call me in, and she's the one to fire me. She was Scientology. And the tall, skinny man that was there with her, he said he was from Sprint. So now it's two of them against one of me. And the tall, skinny guy probably was this Miss Cabbage guy. Your name is Miss Cabbage, means you are a bitch. You're not even alpha, you are a beta. That's why you come with the name Miss. It says Clearwater Sun police hold Scientologist guns. Now they haven't opened it yet, She said the weapons were privately owned by individual Scientologists. His official, and there you go, CIA, Scientology biography says he was a photographer of note, but makes, I don't know what it's talking about. I just know it has weapons, and I put in Scientology and bioweapons. Police confiscated a cache of weapons in a temporary Church of Scientology headquarters in Dunedin. See, I don't know how to actually. Sometimes my camera is good, sometimes it's not. Dunedin, after the Scientologists abandoned the beast. The Clearwater Sun had learned all before the weapons found about 60 days ago in the King Arthur's Court's condominiums off State Road. And they used State Road 5, State Road 58, 580, so it's 58. I was going to find your bitch asses. Just west of US 19, I used to ride up and down that freeway. Anywhere you go, you really have to ride up and down this freeway. And be careful because there are many trucks there too. Are being held by Dunedin police. State and federal authorities are investigating. The one weapon sent elsewhere was a short-barreled Mauser, which has United Snakes in the middle, which was turned over to the U.S. Treasury. See, right here and right here. Department. 3 others are apparently being held by U.S. Customs, CIA, in West Palm Beach. The word is official, but I call it CIA. The Mauser, I guess, a German. See, German. These are fucking Germans. Germans put you under mind control, and since the Catholic Church was falling due to a lot of pedophile bullshit going on, they needed to create another front. So they created Scientology. See, Scientology, it is the science of the mind, science of the body, science of your brain, science of how your bladder works, science of how your throat works, science of this, science of that. And there's a lot of that type of science going on. That's why they're Scientology. They have their hand in every fucking piece of science going on. Possibly even have their hands in the science of Harem Abib. Because I see a lot of it going on. So it's a German firearm introduced around the turn of the century and used extensively by German paratroopers during World War II. Has been copied and widely used in other countries, including the United States. It is not illegal to own a MAUSER, but federal regulations do prohibit easily concealable short-barrel misers, a Treasury spokesman said. Treasury Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms completed its investigation on that type of gun about 3 weeks ago and turned its finding over to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tampa, the spokesman said. Although sources said Treasury felt it had the evidence to support charges against United States Attorney, and look at her name, Eleanor Hill. And you have to understand their names. This is what I'm saying, you know. If you know the science, how a bit, or the thing is just to do the etymology on words, not just to see the root word of it, but to also break the word up, you know, to dissect the word. Now here you have a God. Here is ILL, which is Illuminati, or you're ill-minded, and the H, Hill, is it's like a derivative of government, you know, but they call it a hill, but it's a derivative for government, who received the Treasury's findings, said Wednesday she had decided not to prosecute. She declined to elaborate on her reasons. Of course, why would she prosecute? She's part of Scientology. You see what her name is. They're all part of it. Federal officials said the MAUSER in its present conditions was acceptable for import under the National Firearms Act of 1934. Violations of the act carries a maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment. A Scientologist spokesman acknowledged today that 17 firearms had been imported through customs at West Palm Beach in mid-November. The spokes, you know, they do a lot of shit to me in November too. November and April are the months with me. The spokesman, who termed the MAUSER pistol an 80-year-old collector's item, said the weapons were taken to custom by Scientologists, and his name is John Danilovich, and owned by various members of the cult. So why do they need guns? She said the weapons are privately owned by individual Scientologists. There is no prohibition in the church doctrine against hunting or target practice. There is no prohibition in the church doctrine against hunting or target practice. And this is said by Miss Heard. Miss Heard said, yeah, I have a Miss Heard. That's my second daughter. She is a Heard. And the word Heard is ear. Also the word here. It is not known how many weapons are being held by Dunedin police, but 9, including the MAUSER, were flagged by custom officials. 5 of those were apparently cleared shortly afterward, but by mistake, all 9 were released to the Scientologists. Custom officials, CIA, readily admit that in other errors in handling the case and say these caused great embarrassment to the Church of Scientology. We have a single case here that if you do a lot of things, you make mistakes, said one customs, and here you have United Snakes and the CIA together. I think we paid dearly for this one. Customs is a big enough organization to admit that we make mistakes and apologize for them. Isn't that something? Because it's the United States and United Snakes. They're all in it together. It may be someone who found this shit and didn't know about what they were supposed to do. Didn't say what type it was, but here there are many types, but it doesn't say what type it was. I just want to see the image of it to see what it looks like. I don't know about guns. I told you I'm very, very ignorant. So these are the type of guns it could have been, you know. Look at that. You're a Scientologist and you need a gun. The shit you teach, and you need a gun, really? Look at that shit. Okay, so that's not the type of gun I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that can harm a target, you know. The day he arrived there in 1991, chemical weapons alarm sounded. Let's see, who arrived? Church of Scientology. Desert Storm blows back with a fury. As another Middle East conflict dies down, veterans and doctors say the previous round's biowarfare casualties remain mysteriously ignored. In the word casualties, you have USA, but it's kind of like Esau. You see, all you need is an E in front. You have ESAU, which is Esau, and then you have the 135, which is Aleister Crowley and Hitler. And you know, this is a war, you know, so it's be a Hitler bullshit. But what does Scientology have to do with it? That's what I want to know. And I don't like having to read whole articles at times, so I just go back. But I know they have something to do with bioweapons. I know Scientology has something to do with bioweapons. And even if I cannot find it here, I will find it somewhere else. They cultivated chemical and biological weapons. Church of Scientology. Google Books result. Oh man, I hope I don't have to read every fucking thing in the world. I might have to. But here's Germany again. Tokyo is involved. They have a movie. It's out. It's called Fair Game. And this guy has something to do with the movie, but he has something. He's an Asian. The name has something to do with Asia. Here's Jim Jones. And Jim Jones was a part of them too. And Jim Jones is supposedly was not supposed to be harmed, but I think they killed his ass too because he knew too much. See, it was all orchestrated. It was all a script, you know. And the thing about the Church of Scientology, the thing about it is you have to be believable. You know, as long as you are believable, you have to be believable. That is their thing. When you, no matter what you do, you have to be believable. Especially if you are doing street acting, you have to be believable, so that people will believe this shit is true. Just because you believe something, that does not mean that shit is true. Now I'm looking at a Church of Scientology, and then I see San Diego, and here's Soviet Union sought to acquire nuclear warheads. When that failed, they brought up a sheep farm in Western Australia that happened to be atop a rich vein of uranium. Wow, and they use uranium bombs. Church of Scientology, you can find them too when you're researching uranium bombs. They cultivated chemical and biological weapons such as anthrax, Ebola virus, cyanide, and VX gas. They had used such agents in previous attacks, but failed to create the kind of mass slaughter they hope will bring on civil war and nuclear Armageddon. Still, AUM exposed the narrow boundary between religious cultism and terror, which would soon become more obvious with the rise of Al-Qaeda. And this is from a spokesman for the Church of Scientology in New Zealand, explained that the source of AUM something crimes was the practice of psychiatry in Japan. But Japan is with them too. Just as the debate in Germany was going to a climax in March 1997, 39 members of a group calling itself Heaven's Gate committed suicide in a San Diego mission. I remember that too. And these people were actually put under mind control to do this. They were acting. They thought they were acting. They didn't know that they were going to die. But then again, who knows if they died or not? They probably just, said they all died and to tell us that, and then they all just went to play other parts somewhere else. They apparently had hoped to time their deaths in order to ascend to a spacecraft that they believed, see the word, believe, was following comic hell pop or some shit? Bop. Marshall Applewhite, you hear his name? My son's here. No, he wrote.